A bored security guard at a museum in Russia decided to make valuable modern art his own. Now, it got him into a lot of trouble, but hey, he really wanted to contribute his own artistic abilities here. Artist Anna Leprosko, that person's Three Figures painting recently was on exhibit at the Yeltsin Center in Russia. The faces on the three figures were blank, with just a suggestion of features, until a bored security guard with a ballpoint pen decided two of them needed drawn-in eyes. And so here's what ended up happening. He took a ballpoint pen and doodled eyes onto two of the individuals in the painting.
I love this guy.
Good, come on.
It's wrong, I know, but let him go! Let him go! Come on, he made the modern art better and you know it.
Anna Leporskaya's painting.
Okay, there.
Wanted to give her, the credit for her beautiful art, which was destroyed by the security guard, and Cenk is sanctioning it, which is unacceptable. Cenk just Cenk is combative toward artists,
No.
Not toward artists, but he's not very appreciative toward any form of modern art. He's very narrow-minded when it comes to art. He thinks that everything needs to be like Monet, that's the only thing that he deems acceptable.
No, now these smears against me have to stop, and I'm gonna be the cop who stops it.
Are you?
And now get a load of this irony. Okay, I was joking because this piece is actually really interesting.
Oh.
Look at this. So at first I looked at it, I was like, okay, blank faces, modern art, I got it. It's, the paintings that drive me crazy is, this is orange. It's just a box that's orange. Interpret it any way you like. Okay, I don't know, here's a piece of paper, interpret it any way you like. That's not art, that's just you didn't know what the hell you were doing, and everyone in that world is pretentious. Okay, but can modern art be great? Of course it can. What Andy Warhol said about pop culture in his art was really interesting, and it was impactful, and he was right? And this piece is actually called "The World As NonObjectivity: The Birth of a New Art," and the blank faces were making a point about how the world is painted as objective, but it isn't. It's subjective, and if you take away people's identity, this is what "quote unquote" objective looks like, and it's not real, right? It's not who we are. That's really interesting and a deep point, and really great art. So should he have done that? Of course not. This was made in the 1930s in Russia. So, look, I have sympathy for the 60-year-old security guard who was bored, and what he did looked funny, right? And I don't know any of his backstory, but he just might be a really innocent dude. And of course, people actually got mad because it's worth a lot of money. It's worth about $1 million.
Right.
That's why they're mainly mad. But if you care about art, of course he shouldn't do that, and there's got to be some consequences for that.
Well, he got fired,
yeah.
So his first day quickly became his last day.
Oh, and by the way, again, I don't know why I imagine the 60-year-old security guard is like, I don't know, and I kind of want to get I was going to say a beer, but maybe a vodka with him, right? Yeah. But having said that, should he be fired? Of course he should be fired. He's a security guard at a museum and he defaces the art on the first day.
That guy's dangerous when he's bored, right? We need a security guard against the security guard.
Yeah, that's right too. I was gonna say, I just said, hey, I wouldn't mind grabbing a vodka with him, but it's possible that he had already done that.
Yeah, no. All right, but this is a great opportunity to revisit other artwork. Oh, by the way, good news, they can restore it. Everything's gonna be fine, okay? But this is a good opportunity to revisit other artwork that was meant to be restored, but was damaged. I mean, I don't know. Art is really something that you interpret, right?
It's an eye of the beholder, as like beauty.
Exactly. So maybe we're off the mark when we say that this particular case was ruined, but this was a painting of Jesus that was supposed to be restored. This is one with
restored. Restored. The one on the right is the one that's restored. That's legendary, man.
So an elderly woman was the one who tried to touch this up. It's a 17th century painting of Jesus.
It never gets old. We've shown this a bunch of times. Never gets old.
100% that's what my painting of Jesus would look like.
Oh, totally. I couldn't even get it to be that good. But
so good.
But what I'm curious about is, as she handed it in, what did she think?
Nailed
it. Or was she like, well, let's see what they say? And has she already cashed the check for restoring it?
Yeah, I do wonder about that. Yeah, I do wonder about that. Well, that's not the only example. So there was an unidentified artist who botched up a 1923 sculpture.
You think so?
And made it look like Mr. Potato Head.
Mr. Potato Head. Uh-oh, now the right was gonna get mad.
But no, like, oh yeah. What's the gender of the Potato Head?
Yeah, see, he isn't canceled. He's on the building right there.
You know, but are we gonna blame the restorers, or are we gonna blame the individuals who made the hiring decisions without the proper vetting?
The restorees.
Yeah, like, no, but seriously, like, let's have a real conversation about this. How do you make this decision, right? Like, how do you find the right person to restore the art? Especially if you're talking about something that's super valuable, super important, has a lot of historical value. I mean, do the proper vetting. There should be a portfolio of work that these artists have restored. Like, that's the thing that gets to me. Like, there's so many of these examples, it blows my mind.
Yeah, I mean, you would want to see their body of work. I mean, I don't know if these two artists, the Jesus one and the Gargoyle one, had like some sort of like health issue or something, but was all of their work like that? Did you check it? And then were you like, I think she's gonna nail this one. Let's get her to touch up Jesus here and see how it turns out. Like all the rest of her paintings in her portfolio are like in crayon.
I color outside the lines.
Indeed.
There's a 16th century Spanish statue that was turned into Nick Cage. Yeah, that one's, I mean, look, the other examples are so bad that this one I'm like, I guess let him go, right? But
yeah, it could be worse.
But maybe if you take it out of the context of this like story with all the other examples, it is pretty bad. There's also the Virgin Mary that was repainted by a furniture restorer.
Come on, look at that picture. Oh, I don't know which one's funny, the one in the middle or the one on the right. I think the middle's hilarious.
Even after 2 attempts, the private restorer had trouble fixing it. Pobrecito.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.